Hey guys, I wanted to do a review of this 853D 3-in-1 soldering station that I've got. You've got a hot air reflow gun, a soldering iron, and a DC power supply. It was $65 from eBay. I know it's a knockoff, but I've read watched several reviews on it, and apparently it's a pretty good knockoff. So here's a quick review. On the back, you've got a main power switch to power up the whole unit. We'll start with the reflow gun. It comes with 4 tips, which are easily interchangeable. It's a Phillips head screw and a little square nut on the back, and it comes with enough bands so that each tip has its own. So it's just a matter of loosening one up a little bit, slipping the other one on, and tightening it. And we will turn this on. Well, we'll put it back in its stand first, turn it on. I'm set at 250 degrees right now. But you'll notice it's not actually doing anything. But as soon as I pick it up from the stand, you hear it spin up, and it heats up, and it heats up very, very quickly. Like, there we go. Like, I can now no longer stand to put my hand even close to it. I mean, I'm 6 inches away here, and it hurts. So I've got to assume that it is the proper temperature. Now, here's the beautiful thing. When I put it back in the stand, it automatically starts to cool down, and when it gets to 100 degrees Celsius, it just shuts off. All on its own. It goes into standby mode, and if I pick it back up, it will start back up again. I really like that feature, although what I don't like is if I drop the gun, it still stays as hot as it would normally. I think. Actually, I'm not sure about that. I haven't. Yep. See, it heats right back up. Alright, so dropping the gun would still be a bad idea, but if you put it back in its stand, it will cool down to 100, and then it will just shut the fan right off. Almost there. And there it goes. So we'll turn that off. The next thing I want to look at is the DC power supply. Now, it comes with leads. These are the leads. The problem is these ends do not fit. I don't know if you can tell or not. They had a sleeve on them, and that's why they would not fit. So I cut those sleeves off, and now they do actually fit. But I'm not even going to use these because I want to hook up my electrical tester to this and get you some proper voltages. Okay, I've got my electrical tester right here set at 20 volts DC because this is a max 15 volt power supply. Notice apparently my meter, well, no, it looks like it's pretty close. Anyway. Alright, so we're going to turn this on. I am at 13.7. I am getting dead on 13.7. I've noticed something, that the lower I go, the further off it seems to be. 5 volts, 5.11, that's still fine for anything USB powered, can handle 0.1 volts extra. But the further I go down, the worse it gets. 0.5, 0.64, that's still a tenth of a volt off, but when you're down there, that percentage-wise, that's a lot. And let's go all the way up to max. 15.4, 15.39. That might as well be exact. The one thing I have noticed is that this dial is very, very, very touchy. 12 volts, 12.06. Again, nothing's going to notice that 0.06 difference. What I mainly want this for is when I start doing electronics kits, I want to power them with this instead of with a battery or a couple batteries or whatever. And because this will go all the way down to the 1.5 for one battery, which 1.55, 1.56, that's fine, and then all the way up to the 15 volts for a lot of batteries. I think this is the best bet for powering up small electronics kits. Now, I want you guys to listen for something. I'm about to turn this up. When it gets to about 7 volts, you hear something click inside. So I think it's transferring from like a regular buck converter up to an actual transformer. I'm not sure, but just listen. Right there, did you hear it? About 7 point. I'm not sure that's going to come through on the video, but it is definitely changing from one sort of regulation to another in the middle of switching up, which might be why it gets more accurate with the higher voltages. Might be a better circuit or whatever. All right. That's enough for that. Now we're going to look at the soldering iron. Again, right there. I just wish that was black to match the rest of the system. And this is a circuit board that I already messed up because I tried to do it with a 60-watt soldering iron with no temperature control, and yeah, I melted some traces right off the board. But it should still work. Oh, I wanted to show you how quick that heated up. All we're going to do is take an LED and put it through a couple holes on this board and solder it. Just, you know, just to show the soldering iron. So there we go. I don't know. Right there. So, how quick does the soldering iron heat up? I've got it set at 375, which should be good for a circuit board. And I've got some really, really crappy lead-free solder here, which is the wrong thing to use for this. And what's that, about 30 seconds, and it's up to temperature. So let's try and do this with lead-free solder, which probably won't work at all. I am using the small chisel tip. And let's see what happens. And there we go. Actually, I think that worked quite well. I know it's very hard to see. I can't really get this to focus any more than it already is. But those are okay solder joints. Again, I am really new to PCB soldering, so any bad joints are my fault and not the soldering irons. But I mean, I can bend the LED back and forth and the solder joints don't move, so I have to believe they're at least good enough to work. I guess that's about it. Thank you for watching. And please hit like and subscribe. Alright, babe, I'm done. Oh shit, I forgot.